Narrowed eyes. Quiet warnings spoken under the breath. The man who turned "Go ahead, make my day" into a permanent part of American culture has never had much patience for foolishness, on screen or behind the camera. For more than 6 decades, Clint Eastwood has dominated Hollywood not with noise or ego, but with calm authority and absolute control. His presence is restrained, almost gentle. But beneath that composed exterior lies a memory for disrespect that is long and unforgiving. We often romanticize classic Hollywood, imagining endless glamour, charm, and easy success. The reality, at least in Eastwood's world, is far less romantic. To him, filmmaking is work, serious work. You show up on time. You know your lines. You respect the crew. And when the camera rolls, you trust your instincts and deliver. First takes matter. Time matters. Recently surfaced accounts from longtime crew members and industry insiders have revealed something few people talk about openly: Clint Eastwood's quiet blacklist. These were not minor personal dislikes or celebrity feuds. These were professional consequences. In Eastwood's eyes, nothing is more disrespectful than wasting time. And 5 performers did exactly that. This story is not simple gossip. It is about discipline, accountability, and respect, values that many feel are disappearing. And before we begin, if you believe that showing up prepared still matters, if you value work done with focus and integrity, then this story is for you. We are counting down the 5 performers who crossed a line in Clint Eastwood's world and learned, permanently, that efficiency is not optional. Number 5. Richard Burton. The first name on the list surprises many fans of classic cinema. Richard Burton remains one of the most respected actors in theatre and film history. When he and Eastwood were cast together in the 1968 World War II action film Where Eagles Dare, it looked like a perfect match. Burton brought Shakespearean weight and a commanding voice. Eastwood brought restraint, grit, and rising star power. On screen, the pairing worked. Off-screen, it did not. Eastwood was already known for his discipline. He arrived early, fully prepared, ready to shoot the moment the crew was set. He believed a film set should run like a military operation, organized, respectful, and efficient. Burton, at the time, was living inside chaos. His highly publicized relationship with Elizabeth Taylor, combined with heavy drinking, followed him onto set. Crew members described days filled with delays. Burton often arrived late, hungover, or not fully sober. Lines were forgotten. Focus was missing. The breaking point came during a critical scene requiring a long explanatory monologue. Burton needed over 20 takes to complete it. This was the opposite of Eastwood's one-take philosophy. After the 10th attempt, Clint said nothing. He simply stepped aside and watched in silence. When asked if he was upset, he reportedly replied calmly, "I'm paid by the picture, not by the hour." But the frustration ran deeper than time lost. Burton openly dismissed the film as just a paycheck, even within earshot of the crew. For Eastwood, that was unforgivable. Every role mattered. Every crew member mattered. Years later, Eastwood summed it up with 3 devastating words: talented guy. Wasted talent. Number 4. Gene Seberg. The 4th name on the list is tragic rather than arrogant. Gene Seberg worked with Eastwood on the 1969 musical Paint Your Wagon. For Eastwood, the project was already a risk. He was stepping outside his comfort zone, singing on screen in a large-scale musical. What he needed was stability. What he encountered was emotional collapse. Seberg was dealing with severe personal turmoil, much of it tied to political persecution and mental health struggles. Unfortunately, those struggles spilled onto the set. Filming frequently stopped due to emotional breakdowns. Scenes were delayed. Schedules collapsed. Eastwood treated the musical like any other job: rehearse, prepare, execute. Seberg often could not separate her inner chaos from her work. Romantic scenes required multiple takes. She frequently stopped scenes mid-shot to question motivation or rewrite dialogue. One crew member recalled a simple walking scene that took far longer than planned. After repeated interruptions, Eastwood walked away. When he returned 10 minutes later, he said quietly, "Let's just get this done." What permanently damaged the relationship came after the film's release. When Paint Your Wagon underperformed, Seberg gave interviews implying that Eastwood's performance hurt the film. Eastwood never responded publicly, especially after her death in 1979, but those close to him say he never wanted to discuss her again. His conclusion was simple: some people however gifted, cannot function within the discipline the job requires. Number 3. Tommy Lee Jones. At number 3 is a clash of strength versus strength. Tommy Lee Jones worked with Eastwood in the 1993 thriller In the Line of Fire. On paper, it was perfect, too intense, no-nonsense actors. Behind the scenes, it was a battle. Jones brought aggressive method acting to the set. His character was hostile, obsessive, and violent, and Jones stayed in that mindset even after the director called cut. Crew members recalled him staring Eastwood down between takes, maintaining tension off camera. Eastwood believed acting should turn on and off. The job ends when the scene ends. To him, Jones's behavior felt unnecessary and exhausting. The situation worsened when Jones repeatedly challenged scene interpretations, pushing for multiple takes. Eastwood was willing to defer to the director to keep things moving. Jones was not. After filming ended, Eastwood made sure it was the last time. Though he later directed many films that could have suited Jones perfectly, casting directors say Eastwood always declined. His explanation was polite but final. Tommy has his way. Number 2. Leonardo DiCaprio. The second spot belongs to a generational mismatch. Leonardo DiCaprio starred in Eastwood's 2011 film J. Edgar. It paired one of the greatest modern actors with one of the last old-school directors. Their philosophies could not have been more different. Eastwood believed in instinct, simplicity, and speed. DiCaprio believed in research, analysis, and exploration through repetition. DiCaprio arrived with notebooks, psychological breakdowns, and historical context. Eastwood wanted the line said naturally, and once. During emotionally intense scenes, DiCaprio often requested additional takes. For most directors, this is a gift. For Eastwood, it felt like doubt. One breakdown scene was reportedly perfect on the first take. DiCaprio asked for more. By the sixth take, Eastwood had walked away from the monitor. To Eastwood, repetition kills truth. After filming Wrapped, Eastwood reportedly said, "Great actor. Not for me." The door quietly closed. Number 1. Barbra Streisand. At number 1 is not an actor Eastwood worked with, but the person who represented everything he opposed. Barbra Streisand. Their rivalry was philosophical. Streisand is known for perfectionism, dozens of takes, and absolute control. Eastwood is known for decisiveness and momentum. During the 1992 award season, Unforgiven competed with The Prince of Tides. Streisand's absence from the Best Director category sparked controversy. Eastwood reportedly remarked privately that efficiency, not gender, was the issue. The rivalry climaxed in 1995 with The Bridges of Madison County. Streisand had developed the project for years. Eastwood took over, stripped it down, and filmed it quickly. The result was a powerful, intimate success, proof, in his mind, that simplicity beats obsession. To Eastwood, excessive perfectionism is fear disguised as control. Final thoughts. Clint Eastwood's Blacklist is not about ego. It is about preservation of time, instinct, and honesty. His career stands as proof that preparation matters, but overthinking destroys truth. In a world obsessed with control, Eastwood reminds us that sometimes the first instinct is the right one. And in his world, you rarely get a second chance to make a first impression.